If you're a beginner designer and you're just starting out, then like everyone else, you'll be making mistakes. Luckily for you, I made these mistakes around 10 years ago when I was starting out in design. I've been a designer for over 10 years now. We own our own designer agency. We create brand identity. We also make these YouTube videos, but our main job is logo design. I've learned a lot from mistakes in the past, but the glories of YouTube mean that you don't have to make the same mistakes. So here are 6 of the main mistakes that beginner designers make and how you should not make them. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Number 1, and possibly the biggest mistake, is not focusing on your portfolio. Many beginner designers are going to university and they're learning a lot about the theory behind design. Now, when you're applying for jobs outside of university, applying for agencies, or even doing freelance work, employers and clients aren't necessarily looking for your credentials. So they're not necessarily looking for your degrees or your university or education. They're looking at what you can actually produce in the practical world. So what tends to happen is a lot of university students studying design come out and they are thinking they'll get a job, but they don't because their portfolio isn't like up to scratch with normal designers. The reason for this is although you've built up a portfolio in university, you may have not spent enough time in it in your free time in creating a portfolio that makes you stand out from the crowd. So spending time in your portfolio basically means that you can take all your old work from university and then once you're through university, start some fake client projects or fake company briefs. You can go to many different websites like goodbrief.com to get these, put them in your new portfolio to show how you solve problems with design. This is what's going to get you picked up. And I'm not just talking about portfolios that you send to like employers or clients. I'm talking about your website as well. Making sure that your website is new and updated is very important. So spend more time focusing on your portfolio. The biggest mistake, number 2, is accepting very low rates of work or very low payments. There are people out there that will skimp you out. Is that a word? They will be skimping you. They will blag your way into designing for free or accepting very low payments of like $50, $20. Now, I've been in this situation before where I've skimped out. So I've let someone basically lower my value of my work for me and I've had to accept the project because I already accepted it. Now, what happens is the psychological side to humans is the more something costs, the more value they put into it. So obviously I had a bad time because generally with low paying clients, you won't get as good of a reputation. The work will never be right, especially if it's free, and they won't place any value on that work because they've not had to part with anything to gain this work. The way that we counteracted this when I was younger was that we came up with a solution of it's full price or free. Now that might sound weird, but there's a massive psychological dilemma that happens with everyone when you discount something. When you discount your work or do mates rates, then it lowers the value of what you're doing for that person. So if we are going to design for a charity and they're asking us to commission us, we either do it for full price, so exactly what we would charge to cover the costs of how long we're going to spend on this project, or we do it for completely free. This way that we're not discounting any value. Now, doing free work is a controversial topic in design, and I'm all for doing free work for charitable causes or for your friends or your family. I'm not for discounting them because of that psychological force. When you charge $1,000 for a logo, you'll get $1,000 worth of value. When you charge $10,000 for a logo, that client is getting $10,000 worth of value. So if someone's negotiating with you and they're trying to get you to not put up your price or trying to get you to lower the value of your work, and simply cut the conversation there and give them a full price or free mentality. Biggest mistake, number 3, is the know-it-alls. You're out of university or you've been in this journey for a few years and now you know everything apparently, so you can do anything, so you do everything and all that you do is bad. This is because you stopped learning. When I've met a lot of people like going to conferences and events and stuff, I get a lot of questions of like, how did you get to the point of where you are now? I've even seen it on my channel. How did you start charging this amount, or how did you build yourself to this point? The secret really is that I never stopped learning, and a lot of people did. So when they came out of university, people would stop learning. They would just try and get a job and use all the knowledge they had from the university, which is a vast amount, and that's it. When in reality, as designers, there's no goalpost or there's no place, a destination. It's just a constant journey of learning new things to get better and better. There's no place you can go to be the best. Now, if you are feeling that you are the best or that you are superior to other designers, that's probably because you have a syndrome. What's the syndrome called? Let me find out. It probably means that you have something called Dunning-Kruger syndrome, which is the opposite of imposter syndrome, which you don't want either of them. Now, luckily for you, there are plenty of places where you can learn logo design and graphic design and carry on your skills from professionals around the world. On Skillshare, they've got thousands of classes all the way from photography, graphic design, lettering, cooking, cleaning, client management, anything you can think of taught by professionals around the world. Now, Skillshare is normally less than $10 a month, which means that you have a subscription to watch every single class on Skillshare. But today they're giving you a 30% off an annual subscription if you click the link down below. So the first 1,000 people that click the link down below will get a 30% annual subscription fee taken off, discounted 30%. This means that you can carry on learning and you can do better and better. Number 4 is lack of consistency. Your work needs to be consistent, so your output needs to be consistent and also your style. Now, how do you gain a style? You gain a style through either small mistakes or small unique processes inside your process to come up with something else. My hand lettering style is my style because it's kind of like the way that I write. It's just the way that I draw letter forms. My logo styles are the way that my logo styles are because of my small little unique processes that you see in the video. You can see a lot of logo design tutorials on my channel where they kind of look similar or they look like one of my pieces of work because that is my style. Being consistent in anything is important, including things like calligraphy. I do a lot of calligraphy. Getting the upstrokes and the downstrokes very consistent all the way throughout is what makes the work look great. And it's the same in practical terms in logo design and graphic design. Consistent negative space, consistent balance within your designs, no matter what you're doing. Consistency is what design is all about because it's a functional thing, it's not an artistic thing. Biggest mistake you can make, number 5 as a beginner, is copying someone else's work. I don't know if you know, but I've got a series on this channel where we critique people's logos and designs on my subreddit. So the most upvoted logo or design gets critiqued on my channel, you get featured, it's great. In one of the previous episodes recently, we had someone who uploaded someone else's work, intentionally making it look like they did it. Yeah, it's a big boo from Jordan there because he's the one who edits the videos and he's mad. And so am I. But this dude basically took someone else's work, uploaded it, and claimed it as his. I found out from the creator on the YouTube comments, and on Instagram, he's a very talented logo designer, that he stole this work, and that was not cool. Stealing people's work or copying designs never works because we've got a trademarking system now and we have the internet, so there's no way you can hide. This doesn't mean you can't steal like an artist. By that, taking inspiration. How do you take inspiration? Well, you take inspiration by looking at certain key elements of a logo and incorporating them into yours. And this follows along nicely with the next one, the final one, which is number 6, probably the most important one for any beginner designer out there, is the biggest mistake. You're trying to be too original. Have you ever heard the saying that nothing is original? It's very true. Even in design today, I get many comments saying that my logos are not original, which is kind of strange because obviously logo design is supposed to be unique, but how can you be original when there are millions and millions of logos already in use and all the shapes that you could possibly think of have been taken? Trying too hard to be original will make your work look bad. So you can have something that is creatively good or original. Originality does not necessarily mean it fits the brief. Creativity does. It is impossible to be original in your work. So how can you not be original? Well, just be good. So you can take key elements from other people's work, such as my own work, and see how it works, why it works, when it works, and if it will work for you. Once you've done that, you can then see if you can input it into your logo design with your own twist. Everything that we see in life is not original. TV shows aren't original, stories aren't original, no camera is original. Reason being, because we're all influenced. As human beings, we are influenced by everything around us. So everything is just an amalgamation of different ideas that have been thought of. So don't be that dude who tries to create an original logo by not looking at any inspiration at all. It's a fine line of copying and inspired when you're beginning, but just make sure that you're doing something, maybe back engineering or using key concepts of other people's logos inside of your design, not copying the whole design. If you did enjoy this video, I upload like twice a week most of the time. I think, in fact, every time we upload twice a week with new content that helps solve your problems in design and stops you getting creative block, basically. So if you would like to, please press that red subscribe button. It's completely free if you want to go ahead and see more videos. I've got some cool new videos for you to watch out as well. So if you're on a bit of a YouTube binge, click this video over here and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.